For a 43rd straight day, we're doing cats. Here we are, the Cougar Afterthought Show, selection show. Number one, Memphis, exactly what everyone expected. U of H is the number 2 overall seed. They obviously lost the number 1 overall yesterday. Oh well, I think you'd still gotten the same draw you got. Everything would have probably looked the same. It really didn't cost you anything. Brad, thoughts?
I'm happy to be in.
Okay. I mean, you can't get analysis like that anywhere else. It's just here.
I know we were talking about, I mean, for the last couple of weeks, we've talked a lot about seeding and everything. I was actually kind of surprised we stuck at the 2.
Overall.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was kind of surprising to me.
Well, here's why. They saw that trash defense Purdue played at the end of that game yesterday and said, there is no way we are putting them at 2.
I guess they figured they had enough favors, but I don't know. I'm surprised that Iowa State was not the top
the 4
2
or the 5. Yeah.
But as far as first round matchups go, they couldn't have found a better place than playing in Omaha.
Yes, that will be a
so go ahead
100% crowd.
Just go ahead and slide them over to the Sweet 16 because that side of the bracket's done.
Yeah. Let's focus on the U of H draw and the region, the South region. Tell me everything you know about the Longwood Lancers. Let's start with where are they? Where is Longwood?
No clue.
What is a Lancer?
A car?
Yes, dang. Was that a Mercury? I don't remember.
Plymouth,
maybe. Longwood is in Virginia. It is nowhere you would ever go, but
is a
bring
Lancer
on the Lancer. It's a horse of some kind.
Mounted cavalry.
Yeah,
that's what I would.
Yeah,
take it at.
It's got to be a yeah. You know as much as I know. I know they're in the Big South.
I probably know more, but I'll let you think you're smarter.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So Longwood, the 2 is Marquette, which is what you've kind of seen in pretty much every bracketology thing that I've seen over the last few weeks. Kentucky is the 3 and Duke is the 4. They wanted to make sure people came to that region in Dallas.
Yeah.
They put the 2 of the 3 or 4 biggest names in college basketball are slated to go there. 8-9 game.
But we have all of Texas going to Memphis too, don't we?
UT is in Charlotte.
Right.
They play potentially Texas or Tennessee in the second round.
We got us and A&M. Does Baylor go to?
I think Baylor is also in Memphis. Yeah. I didn't see where Texas Tech went, but I think it might be not Brooklyn. Actually, it might be Brooklyn.
Tortillas in Brooklyn. That fits.
Yeah. Yeah. Go down to the bodega and get you some tortillas. 8-9, Nebraska and A&M. The NCAA is a massive shit talker. They put A&M with their brand new AD, Trev Alberts from Nebraska, in the first round playing each other. Awesome, fantastic, way to go. Nebraska's, as you said earlier this week, never won an NCAA game. And so you get this shot at them. If they can get by A&M, you beat A&M at Toyota Center. I think it was December 16th. Mm-hmm. The kid that Seth Davis talked about, Obieski, was 0-5 against U of H in that game. Right. So bring him on. Jamal would love a bit of that. Tech went to Pittsburgh. That's in the South region. So, and then Florida is a 7 in that region.
Yeah.
I did not have any problem with any of the teams that I saw.
No,
No
we sit
bad
there,
seating.
we sit there, and I look at the brackets, and I mean, Iowa State has they're set up really well for a Sweet 16. I mean,
Well, we're talking about the South. We'll get to that. Let's just focus on U of H's.
but we're not going to get an easy road. There's not really many easy roads. We just got
there's
names.
no easy road. You have big names.
We just got big names.
Kentucky doesn't scare you. Duke doesn't scare you.
Well,
At the end of the day,
Kentucky's not going to play an ounce of defense.
Correct. At the end of the day, Marquette is coached by Shaka Smart. I mean, okay, I'll take it. I'm not. You might not get through this because in the last decade, teams that are a 1 seed struggle to get out of the Sweet 16. I think the average is right Sweet 16, maybe Elite 8, but it's not much better. No. Last year was the worst example of that.
Yeah.
So it's not an upset if you lose to a 4 because 4s are pretty damn good teams. It could be a 12, 13 in the nation.
Right.
I don't think it's a big deal. Let's look at some comments about the U of H spot in the region because they have piled up all of a sudden. Starnes is not going to be here. They booked their flight right during the selection show. Really smart. Really smart. Not crazy about the Ags. You should be. I don't think that's a big deal. Tough team for 8-9. Nah. They might be playing well, but I don't think it's a good team. And I think Nebraska's going to beat them. I really like that Nebraska. I've been talking all week about Nebraska, thinking they might be that 9 in this region. It turns out they were. That is 100% correct. When I saw Michigan State at 9, I was like, "Oh boy, that's
well." I think when it comes to Nebraska, I think they've got the X factor in the fact that they've got Hoiberg as their coach. That guy can coach.
Yeah,
and I think he wins a head-to-head with Buzz.
I mean, they were getting rid of Buzz 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
They were done.
But that's A&M. I mean, they could.
Yeah. Well, their former AD who left a couple weeks ago just hired interim assistant at Ohio State. You fired a guy, paid him over $10 million to hire his assistant.
I mean, if he was so good, don't you think he might have rubbed off a little bit on the team? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. 8 from the Big 12. Y'all all had 9. I had 8. I just didn't think OU was going to make it. They didn't. Virginia gets in. Virginia's in a play-in game. Colorado, who is it? Colorado State? No, Boise State is in a play-in game. Mm-hmm. They did not like the Mountain West either. I got 2 right. I may get everything else wrong, but I got 2 right. Aggies scare me. I just don't think it's that big a deal. I mean, maybe they beat you, but I think it's a fine spot in Memphis. Not a big deal. Did you notice that they barely said 3 words about U of H on the broadcast? It was like, okay, they're here. Okay. I don't care personally, but it was kind of weird.
I didn't really notice it. I mean, there's other real stories out there. I mean, ho-hum, U of H gets the 2 seed. I mean, I guess you can comment something on saying, hey, they got the 2 seed despite, getting ass blasted yesterday.
I don't think we ever need to say ass blasting ever again, but that's just me. That's just me. I saw a comment. This is my guy. I love, he has got balls. He is just a flashy player. Jamal's going to wreck him, but he's a flashy player. Ryan called it only 8. I nailed 1. We're going to play that up because I don't get them too much. Yeah. Let's look at the other regions. In the East, it's UConn, Iowa State, Illinois, and Auburn. I think Illinois is up a line from where you thought they'd be. They won the Big Ten today, I guess. So, or who won the Big Ten? It was Wisconsin and Illinois. I'm not making that up, am I?
Say it again.
Who won the Big Ten today? It was Illinois.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why they're at 3 instead of where they look to be at 4. Auburn and Alabama. Auburn is in the East. Alabama is in the West. They're both going to Spokane, Washington. And that's funny only because they were both in Birmingham last year.
It's like
they both got home games, and now they get the furthest. I mean, basically in Alaska.
I mean, it's like they decided that, hey, let's do this old timey so everybody can carpool.
You know, if they're getting on that bus to Spokane, they need to get going now.
That's right. I mean, you know, because it could break down and they'd all have to ride llamas up there.
Yeah. So in the East, Washington State is playing. There's a region in Spokane, but Washington State's going to Omaha. So they did not give them the Birmingham situation. Washington State's a 7. Auburn last year was an 8 and got a home game. I don't know about that. Just seems so goofy. The CBS guys talked a lot about the Iowa State non-conference, and this pisses me off. Why is what happened in November a bigger deal than what happened in February and March? That should be where the focus is. Yeah. Iowa State has been very good at the end of the year. That's where the focus should be, not who they played in the middle of November.
Well, and you know, by the same token, A&M sucked until this last week. So, I mean,
yeah, and they get they're 8, I believe, right? Yeah. So, yeah, that doesn't make any damn sense.
I understand the concept of, you know, you got to have, I mean, you want to have a good non-conference schedule, but when you prove what kind of team you are and you run roughshod over some of the best teams in the country and have an historic win against the number 1 team, I think that means more than, you know, a quality loss in November. But I most of the time these guys don't make sense. I mean, I don't see anything egregious. I guess I have questions on Gonzaga being a 5. That seems, I don't know. Maybe they're.
You got to have a 5 who's going to lose in the first round, and they get McNeese.
Watch out.
And Will Wade is going to win that game. I believe it's played out west. I don't remember. That's the Salt Lake region, I think. I don't know. In the Midwest, it's Purdue and Tennessee and Creighton and Kansas. Bye, Purdue. You're done. It's over.
I mean, I think TCU takes them out in the second game
by 20. TCU runs them.
I mean, I'm sure Utah State's a good team and all, but I'm just assuming TCU gets through that.
Yeah. Creighton is the wild card here. We just don't know anything about them. Kansas could run through this region at the 4 spot. They could completely run through this region. They could also lose in the first round.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you really don't know. I mean, I think McCullers is the key. And honestly, if they didn't have Dickinson, that might be better for them.
It's just like Zach Edey. Whatever. TCU is going to win that. Texas.
I mean, Zach Edey's he's got to be in the game so he can shoot 30 free throws.
Well,
I mean, that's
what happened yesterday.
That's Purdue basketball.
Tennessee and Rick Barnes play Texas in the second round. in Charlotte. Here for it, 100%.
Yeah, that's
Love it.
definitely that game and the Nebraska A&M game. Those are definitely the NCAA selection committee meme game.
Doing goofy stuff.
Yeah.
They also put James Madison in a regional at 12, playing a 5 Wisconsin. They could 100% win that game. And they would match up in the second round with Duke. Well, James Madison, they are the Dukes against Duke. Here for that too. The West region, North Carolina, Arizona, Baylor, and Alabama. Surprised that Alabama is on the 4 line. I would have had them a little lower, but it really doesn't matter if you're 4 or 5, I guess. Michigan State's trash. The Mountain West Conference is trash. They did not get any respect in this. Galen was supposed to be here. I don't know where the hell he is.
I am. I'm looking at that New Mexico Clemson matchup, and
that's over. New Mexico's winning that game.
That looks really
10.
tasty right there.
Yeah, I got New Mexico. That's in Charlotte, I believe, and I think New Mexico might have more fans there than Clemson. If Longwood has a Longwood Energy shirt, I'm buying one. Well, you're going to be in line behind me, Sean, because I'm getting me a Longwood Energy. You have to. If they have 5X Towns, we're hooking you up.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know what that means, but it sounds fun. Longwood, play slow.
We're talking about
shoot free throws.
That was in reference to the Lancers.
There you go.
Memory.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't shoot free throws. UVH's free throw shooting's gotten a little better, but yeah. You say this, but then A&M gets rewarded for their run.
No, I mean I do agree to a point that they don't care until they do care.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just so weird.
Well,
is it how
UConn in Houston both they switch because of the conference tournament.
Right.
I don't know. And Purdue was the number 1 seed until yesterday in everybody's bracket, and now they're the 3. Okay.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't think that they do either. Because I don't think they have any. I don't think that they have any kind of guiding principles on what they're going to be doing, and they're not going to be consistent at all. I think they're just going by matchup to matchup.
Yeah. Sometimes the net is a really good guide, and sometimes it's not. Boise State was like 25-27 in the net, and they're in a play-in game. New Mexico is in the top 20-22, and they're an 11.
I do like seeing Colorado in there. So OU.
Well, they were in a play-in game, right?
Yeah, against Boise.
Okay.
So that's good.
Yeah. Did not have a reaction shot. So U of H's plans to go to the undisclosed location that's over on the West Loop owned by Tillman Fertitta. It was kind of last minute, or it was at least told to us last minute, and they just might not have. It just might not have been a big deal. I think if U of H would have been number 1 overall, they'd have had a reaction shot. But okay, I don't think that's a big deal. They've had it in the past. No big deal. But how many did the SEC get in? Did they have 8 or 9?
8.
Okay. That seems like way too many to me.
Yeah, I thought they were 6 maybe.
But when you saw 3 in one region, you were like, oh, well. I mean, I texted you that I heard on the radio that on the SEC game today that I guess it was a national radio broadcast, thought there would be 9 from the SEC, and that kind of shocked me. And I started looking. I was like, oh, well, that's why. They're going to just do all that kind of stuff. Jamie says,
let's get caught up on some of the comments.
What are we doing? We've been doing the whole time.
Well, I'm just starting to
Longwood
see them
scouting report coming soon.
pile up.
Jamie, bless you. Well, the NCAA doesn't get anything out of that because those are conference TV contracts, but it really shouldn't matter. How you're playing at the end of the year should 100% matter, and what you did in November shouldn't. U of H played Louisiana Monroe and Montana and Penn because they needed guys to gel. They needed to get work in for second line guys like JoJo. That was the point of playing the schedule that looked like this.
Right.
Now, does Kelvin do that? Yeah, but he does it for a reason. Uh,
Oh, and
I think
I think Iowa State had the exact same philosophy. They had to bring in a bunch of new parts. They struggled the last couple of years. I don't think that even they thought that they would be this good. You know, they just needed to
I
get
think
some
that's true.
confidence, get everybody playing together.
They were 6 in the preseason, something like that, 7 in the preseason. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they. It feels wild that I was in the arena watching them 24 hours ago. It feels like 3 days ago. I didn't really sleep. They can push for Purdue all they want. Purdue will not be in the second weekend. The only thing here, I don't know where they played the second weekend. That would be the key of where the East is in the second weekend. But I would say, I don't know if it's the worst matchup. UConn's a team they can play with. If it's somebody that plays really fast and really great scores, I don't know. But I think they can play with UConn.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Galen sent me photos of the one substantial gear going out today. And anybody that ordered it, like, I don't know, 6 months ago, whenever this happened, got a notification in their shipping today in their email. So Galen was back in Birmingham. He was not at the club in Wilmington. Baylor is inconsistent. I don't know. This one might be right. I've never been a Clark Kellogg guy. I've never thought he was terribly bright, but I don't think Seth Davis is either. There's something about people once they go and live and work in New York City that they just lose their mind. So,
I mean,
I don't know.
Kentucky, it's one of those, we go back to the whole thing, about what we've talked about all year long, that sexy sells, offense sells, Kentucky's going to go put up a whole lot of points, and they're not going to defend anyone. So they're going to try to outscore you. And, for a casual, it's entertaining to watch. I can't watch it because Kelvin's got me hooked on the way we play. That's the reason why I've been gushing about Iowa State, because I love watching them play. They look like us.
Yeah. I don't like offense anymore either. New Mexico at 22 in the net, same seed line as Duquesne. This tells you maybe the net doesn't make sense. Maybe it doesn't matter. But I think what matters each year changes based on who they need to get over.
Depending on the storyline they need to push.
Tell me that's wrong. How is that wrong?
Well, there's no rhyme or reason to it. That's the thing.
Okay. I'm looking up locations because the East is in Boston. I just saw a comment that said that. Yeah. So UConn is in Brooklyn, then they go to Boston. That's what it is. 2 of the 3 CBS folks have U of H making the Final Four. Maybe. I think this U of H team could lose in the Sweet 16 or play for a national title. It could go anyway. I think they get out of the first weekend. I think the matchups are okay. But You just don't know. I mean, you're looking at who's the 4? I've already lost it. Is it Kentucky? No, it's Duke is the 4. So we get 4, John Shire and Duke in Dallas in the Sweet 16, and then get probably Kentucky Marquette in that Elite Eight. I mean, that's a couple of hard wins to get to the Final Four, but who knows? I think that is completely true. They just didn't matter. That loss is the only game that matters this year. You didn't win 30 games. You just lost one. It's the only thing that matters.
I get it. I understand the concern because it was a shocking loss. It was a shocking loss.
But if you look at it from just the tiniest bit of distance, it's not.
Right.
It was a terrible matchup for Jamal, and you saw it in Ames, and you saw it last night.
I mean, well, you saw
Jawan was not. I don't think Jamal played a bad game in Houston against Iowa State.
No, but it's still a tough. I mean, it's one of those matchups. It's one of those matchups where you have to be on your A+ game because you're not going to get an inch. There's no room for error against somebody like that. And but that's the exact same way in every other guard who plays against Jamal.
Yeah.
You better be A+ or he's going to eat you alive. And,
And
sometimes you eat the bear, sometimes it eats you.
I've never eaten bear. I wouldn't know. But so Jawan is out. He looked fine early, but he wasn't 100%. Javier gets in foul trouble, and Iowa State needed that more than you did. Turns out they really didn't because they weren't getting to the one line anyways. If you win that game by 28 points and you still don't move to the one, you never really had a shot.
I've looked at. I went back and watched some of the tape of it this morning, and
I'm sorry, the tape.
Well, okay. The video. What would you like? I watched.
I don't know. It just sounds funny.
I watched the VOD of it. It's always going to be tape to me.
Yeah, I agree. I just like talking shit.
I don't. The only factor that mattered, if you want to come up with something external other than we just played like shit, it was a home game. It was a home game for Iowa State.
I just don't buy that. Yes, it was mostly a home game, but I just don't think. I don't know. Kelvin said it a lot, and that's fine.
I think that that plays a factor. That plays a factor.
It plays a factor, but it's not a 28-point factor.
Well, no, the 28-point factor is they went and ripped our heart out before the 10-minute mark in the second half, and it just went all. It was going downhill at the start of the second half, and it just never got better. I mean, they made us tap out. That was the disturbing thing about it is I saw the team stop competing, and that was sad to see.
I don't know that we'll ever get an answer, but I would like to ask: was it because of Jawan? And they wouldn't say yes, but I just
it's
would like somebody to.
It's one of those ones you'll get the truth in a few years. You'll get the real feelings of it.
Yeah. Maybe. Show us some comments, Brad. I am
let's see
feverishly working on something.
Here, you can answer this one. Did the loss of Reggie bring this Coug team together closer together? What do you think? You're around them every day, and especially there at the beginning of the year.
I'm going to tell you, Kelvin probably talked about Reggie in practice, in film session, more than he's ever talked about anyone. I think he's always appreciated Reggie, but I think it brought it to another level for him. I don't know if it brought it to another level for the players, just because I think they were pretty tight going in. And then you had to build a tightness with LJ and Damian Dunn and JoJo and then Cordell and Jacob McFarland. And I maybe, but I don't see it. I don't think it was like some overarching thing.
Right.
But he did mean a lot to this team, and I don't think it's them. Uh, I don't think they're making more of it than it was. Like he really did mean a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let's see
yeah,
here. Kentucky is a sexy choice out of the South. I agree. I agree. I mean, they've got, they've,
I don't know what I'm letting go, but I agree. Let it go.
Kentucky's dangerous, but they're also dangerous. It's a danger for them to get blown out too.
Yeah. Uh, so we did not. This was not a regular show. Star Pizza did not agree to sponsor this. We didn't ask, to be honest.
It was
But
impromptu.
Star Pizza, go get you a Star Pizza. This is for free. I'm going tonight. What you did today at lunch. I'm going for dinner.
What are
if
you
you
gonna
see
get?
me there at dinner, do not speak to me. Just look down. Just
I'm not gonna
look
be
away. Not
there.
you. I'm talking to all the other people. Just look away. I'm gonna eat pizza like a normal person, but I might try. If I know any of the people there, I might say, "Hey, try me some of that chicken parm, that lasagna, that whatever you got." And
Fettuccine Alfredo.
don't bring those meatballs out. I don't want any of that.
Oh, you mean the lasagna? Okay. Yeah.
The lasagna is what I
The
want to
lasagna.
try.
Hey, lasagna's good second day too. It like soaks up all the juices. Phenomenal.
I thought you said second date. Like, yeah, second date. You bring the girl there for lasagna.
Throw some lasagna down her throat.
Her throat. Nobody romances the meatballs. Boy, that is the line of the year. Nobody romances the meatballs like Brad Towns.
Well played, Ethan. Well played.
Yeah.
You got that one.
You know what we haven't done in a few days is well, it didn't even do it. Okay, there we go. Whew. I
What
thought
the
we
hell
broken
is
it.
that? Did you program that in and not tell me
No.
about it?
How would I understand how to do that?
That's
It does work on this too. Well, it did. It did the lasers, but now it's not. Yeah. See?
oh no, I can't do
Oh,
it.
because you got the screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we look like idiots. They certainly lifted ISU. I think Jawan not being there kind of sucked the life out of U of H. I think it just. I'm gonna start that romance the meatballs comment. We're gonna probably come back to that. I believe it. Tomorrow's an off day. They're gonna do some NIL stuff. This thing at the unnamed place. It's on the West Loop. It's a hotel and a restaurant in Mastro's. I think this is an NIL event as well. But yeah, we'll see. What toppings are necessary for a pizza?
Well,
I'm going to tell you the Maryland. Go with the Maryland. Canadian bacon, onion, and something else. It's pretty good. That might be what I have tonight.
I mean, they got all kinds. Depends on what you like. I get sausage, pepperoni, and extra cheese. And when they give you extra cheese, they're not messing around. It weighs a lot. It's a lot of extra cheese. Oh, and I also got this fresh mozzarella. Uh-oh.
It looked like ice cream.
I know, but it's fresh mozzarella, man. It's delicious. I'm saving that for tomorrow.
Okay. Baldwin doubling down on the Chancellor Ramon. This is a 100% ask a question and you get the answer. I just don't see it. He's never, ever, he has said there's no chance. If you go looking for the answer, you might find it. I ask an open-ended question and ask somebody to talk to me. Maybe. You have to have your cameras centered. Okay. Let's see. No, didn't work. See, that worked. That didn't work. Okay. If he plays, yeah, I just don't think. I don't know how you get. I don't know how he just comes out and is able to perform at a level that can help you. I guess it's eating up time, but I don't know. Spoke with Lauren a few weeks ago, said they were doing an NIL event. Okay. Uh, so yeah, I don't see this at all. I just I don't see it. But
I
they're
mean,
athletic. I
that's
mean, Wade Taylor's a good player. I wouldn't want him on my team, but he's a good player.
um, that's the thing about March. I mean, really, anything can happen.
100%.
I mean, I think
I mean,
last year was the poster child of anything could happen. Because I mean,
yeah.
last year was just insane. But I think that's the way it's going to go. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at all these big names on our bracket. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if half of them are gone by the Sweet 16.
How about UConn and Florida Atlantic potential second round? Those were Final Four teams last year. UAB could play Auburn in Spokane. Not sure how that works out. Yale would be scary for me if I'm Auburn. Illinois could play BYU in the second round. Talk about two opposite styles of basketball.
Yeah, I mean, BYU. I mean, literally, they could go lose by 15 to Duquesne, but they could also make a run.
Yeah.
They warm up behind the line. I mean, they're the only ones to walk into Fog Allen with a win in years.
Yeah. Baylor and Colgate. Colgate's a scary kind of team. New Mexico is going to beat Clemson in that first round. If I'm Arizona, I am not wanting to play Long Beach State in that first round. There is some juju going on there. I don't want any part of it. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, that whole scenario is awesomely weird.
Uh, if Virginia gets by Colorado State and then gets UT in what we call the first round, they could hold UT to like 32 points and beat them. South Carolina Oregon's a fascinating game because I think South Carolina's pretty good. Oregon having to go all the way to Pittsburgh is kind of funny. McNeese is going to beat
The
Gonzaga.
Pac-12 was really weird this year.
They got a lot more teams than you would have thought.
Yeah.
I just didn't think there was going to be any market for them, and then there you go. I really hope Grambling beats Montana State because I might make Grambling like a 3-point dog to Purdue. And I have no idea about Grambling, but I'd probably make him a 3-point dog.
And I saw today that this is the first time in the history of their program they made an NCAA tournament. That's shocking to me.
Yeah.
That's shocking to me.
Well, you have to win the SWAC tournament, and you've had to do that for 35 years.
Right.
And they just never have. Vermont or Grambling doesn't spend any money on athletics. They really don't. I don't know. Oof. Just looking at this component of the bracket in the South, you get Longwood in the first round, Nebraska A&M in the second. A&M's sitting there with 14 losses. Wisconsin's got 13 losses. Nebraska has 10. Longwood has 13. That's a lot of losses right there in your part of the South region.
I mean, when I look at it and I don't see the records and I don't see anything else, you just see the names and you immediately think, oh, that's going to be really tough. But I mean, it's not any tougher than what we've seen before. I mean, this is not like it's, oh my God, it's a brand new challenge. Right? We took out Big Ten champ Illinois. We took out Pac-12 champ Arizona, and then went to the wire against freaking Villanova.
If Galen were here, he would tell you James Madison is beating Wisconsin. That is just one of his beliefs, that a team that just all they do is win is going to beat a team like that. Wisconsin might have shot their wad with Purdue and Illinois. They're going to be in Brooklyn, so no, home court or home region. James Madison, they could be the one that's spoiling some things in this region. Colorado State is beating Virginia. I have their PG circled to watch. Jamie has been on the lookout for U of H's next point guard for a little while. And when that day happens, if that day happens, Jamie's going to be writing about it. You don't know this yet, Jamie, but you're going to be writing about it because he's been stalking these guys like a crazy.
Just let me know if we need a flight tracker out of Vegas.
Why are y'all so obsessed with this guy?
Well, I mean, he was.
I don't know anything about him.
He was an elite recruit, and he went in as a freshman and dominated as a freshman. Did everything.
Okay. Are we sure he's in the portal?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, that's. I mean, you don't. I mean, there's been nothing there. I have not heard any talk about it. There's always talk in the background or whatever.
Yeah.
But okay. The thing is when you look at it, you think, oh yeah, they could possibly, because I mean, UNLV sucks and they're going to continue to suck even with him. I mean, he might not ever get a shot at the NCAA tournament. But then again, you got to think it's his dad's school. He's wearing his dad's number. It'd be hard to prime away.
I just don't think that matters that much anymore. I really don't. I think he did at one point.
You got to assume that there's big money there too.
At UNLV or if he goes in the portal?
No. At UNLV. I'm sure there's big money in the portal too.
I don't see how there's big money at UNLV. Nobody cares. And now that it's a pro sports town, well, that's been proven. Where did this BYU, Illinois, or Auburn can beat UConn? Here's the problem. Auburn is going to have to get on the bus in Spokane and drive all the way to Boston. And that's going to take all week. And they just might be exhausted. So I don't know about them. LB State is my upset of the first round. I think that could happen. I saw this Rick Pitino, and everybody was he the first four out? I did not even see who the first four out were.
Yeah, we went on before they get into that.
Okay. First four out: OU, Seton Hall, Indiana State, Pitt. So were they not even close? This is the Fertitta. The other Fertittas, I think they own like the stations, casinos, or had a role in that.
Yeah,
it's a little different.
They're part of the UFC as well, I believe.
Yeah, or they were.
Yeah,
they did some buyouts and stuff. True. There was some talk that Rick Pitino might have been bumped when New Mexico took the Mountain West spot, which is his son, Richard Pitino, who was a total failure at Minnesota and then got hired. 99% have no idea what I'm talking about. And that's fine. I mean, we get to have some little inside stuff, right?
It's one of those, if you know, you know.
Yeah. In 2010, one of the local stations heard that U of H was getting on the bus and they were going to end up in Spokane for the regional, Tom Pender's last year. And they got an email from Jeff Conrad saying you can meet the bus outside Hoffines and get some video, and then they're going to go. And the local station thought they were getting on the bus to drive to Spokane, Washington. They were getting on a bus Tuesday for a Thursday game, somehow driving to Spokane, Washington. And so that's been kind of a little bit of an inside joke with certain parts of the fan base. And yeah. So it's just making fun of how dumb the local media can be. And there you go. It was either 10 or Channel 2 or 13. It might have been 11. It wasn't Mark Berman. And there you go. That's why, Connor. Now you know. There's you an NBC graphic. The more you know. Any other thoughts about this bracket, Bradley Towns? Well, that didn't really give you anything. Okay, that was completely worthless. Sorry.
Put that up again.
Yeah, there you go. Put your readers on, Grandma. You look like my mother.
Jeez.
Mom has readers all over the house. She has them on the back patio. She has them in the kitchen, in the living room, her bedroom, bathroom, everywhere. And you just pick them up wherever you're at and just.
I did, but I broke them. I broke them all. Next time I'm going to get some Junior Sopranos.
I will pay for you to get one of those chains to put around your neck, like a real chain, not like a croaky, but like a chain so it hangs down here. Starnes isn't on the show, so he doesn't get his shirt does not get advertised.
He didn't have a Starnes stats for us. Did he mail in a Starnes stat?
Let's see. Stats by Starnes. Starnes did not show up. Galen did not show up. At no point this year have both of them not shown up. There's your stats by Starnes.
See, Starnes is still sad. He's got a sad face on still.
His Muppet face.
The good thing about that face, it could be he's concentrating a lot or he's just sad. Whichever way we want to play with it.
Yeah. Can I be honest? Thank you all so much for watching and subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button. I can't believe you're actually watching this, to be honest. I appreciate it, and we're glad you are, but it's just two idiots talking. It's just like what we'd be doing if y'all weren't here.
Well, it's more fun because now we got people involved that'll comment and come hang out and talk trash to us if you want. So be it.
Well, that's fine. Don't have any problem with anybody talking trash.
So we play on, is it Friday? Is that right?
Friday.
Times aren't announced yet?
As far as I know, they are not. But I am certain somebody would. It's usually a few hours after they release the bracket. I have not gotten anything. I haven't gotten anything for, anything. So we'll be there. Starnes will not. Towns will not. Galen will not. I guess it'll be me, not us.
The Cougars not sending them out there?
Not for this round. They're going to send them to Dallas if that happens. So, yeah. And I asked him, like, hey, do you want us to take care of it? And he was like, nah, we're good. I'm going to stay home. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
But we'll be up live within 30, 45 minutes after games.
Well, with Starnes at home, y'all can go live immediately.
True. Good point.
You don't need me.
No.
Actually, Ryan, that's a great point. Yeah. So y'all go live pretty quick after games. Let's see what the good folks are saying. The media people are saying right now. Ramon's doing better. He has an outside chance of playing. I don't know if it's outside the door or outside the block. He was in the training room this morning doing some stuff. Who knows? If we got him back, it'd be a welcome sight. I don't think that doesn't sound like open door to me. That sounds like not totally throwing it out the window.
To me, that sounds like it's a message to the other teams. Hey, you need to prepare for this too. Here's a little more homework to do.
I just don't think anybody would spend 5 seconds on a guy that hasn't played in a month and a half. On that.
I mean, unless he's been quietly, secretively working out and getting reps,
secretively,
but with nobody able to see, like when you're.
Well, I understood what around. Secret. I knew what your made up word meant. Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see him playing, or if he does, I don't expect anything other than somebody to come in and foul a couple of times.
And if they need that, I'm available. So, when I talked about Jack being really mean to me, I mean, that's his brand, and I appreciate it. Keep it up, Jack. Let's go. I just don't think that matters. I don't think normal. I mean, that's just somebody asked a question, begging for themselves to be right from what they said. But they also said that Dana Holgerson was definitely coming back 2 days before he got fired. That's fine. Okay. They've been playing in the SEC, and I just don't think it's the same thing. If they're going to have to play Houston, it's not going to be the same thing. These kids are not going to let A&M ruin their careers. It's not going to happen. They might get beat by somebody else.
A&M's got to get through Wisconsin. I mean, the last thing that they should be doing is ever even having a thought about us.
Nebraska.
Same thing. They're both red.
No, it's not. Nope. I like Nebraska. I mean, Hoiberg is a Big 12 coach. He went and took a Big 10 job, but he's a Big 12 coach. He went and did that, I believe, when the instability was kind of happening, which probably was a smart decision. When Hoiberg left.
Well, he went to go coach the Bulls, didn't he? He
went to the NBA. That's right. He did go to the NBA. I totally forgot that. Yeah, he did do that. NBA. You're right. 100% right. Yeah, that's what I missed.
Yeah, and that's how he got back to Nebraska.
His shirts were way too big for Iowa State anyways. Just kidding. True. Y'all leave me alone.
Sorry, Iowa State fans.
You're going to go far, Iowa State. Please clip this part. You're going to go far. I think you can beat UConn. Okay, in clip. There you go. Clip that.
I think that I think they could be a nightmare for UConn.
Ethan, you and I are approximately the same age. You had baseball. You started to have women's basketball.
But women's basketball for a few years.
You didn't have football or men's basketball.
I think we had swimming, and then we got track. But I guess we had a couple of years. Okay.
You had diving. You didn't have swimming. You had diving.
Yeah, diving.
Yeah. Shout out to Willie for being at the watch party. I think that was an NIL thing. I think he was there cultivating donors, which he 100% should be. Dana might have been because of where it was held, because he likes the bar next door. But Willie had to actually make an effort to go. And good for him. But this is what the football coach should be doing.
I think, well, the funny thing, or the great thing is, I think Willie enjoys it. I think Willie just likes people.
Willie, he likes all the parts of being a football coach.
Right.
Like Dana didn't like all the hard work during the week or the fundraising or the glad handing, but he liked being the coach on game day.
Yeah, I mean, he
Willie likes every part of it.
He loved the 1st and 15th.
You only get paid once a month.
Well,
But he liked the first. He liked the first. I had a funny conversation with somebody about him yesterday, which I absolutely cannot tell. I wish I could, but it's not my story to tell. Uh,
true.
but it's a totally believable Dana story. Uh, so here's something Coach Kelvin Sampson said last night is that some players might have gotten their feelings hurt. We talked about it on the show last night, and I think he's talking about Jamal because
I don't. I mean, yeah, I think Jamal got some of it, but I think everybody got a piece of that.
maybe
Everybody got some. But
I'm
then
sure Damian Dunn and Emmanuel heard some things. Yeah,
you could
LJ.
the way I see it going is screw you, screw you, screw you, and F you for letting them do it.
That's the thing about being the point guard. You're to blame, and you're held to a standard that nobody else is held to, and everybody's held to a high standard. But that point guard, that's just a
He's
whole
responsible.
different
I mean,
situation.
he's responsible for them.
It's his team. Yeah, 100%. And
I mean, it's a
Jamal
blessing.
signed up for it.
Well, yeah, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a heavy burden.
Yeah.
But you know, our guys. I mean, that's why I said there's only been 3 point guards in this program.
Towns, what do you think about the Big East getting screwed? Tell me your real thoughts.
Did the Big East get screwed?
That's what people are saying. I mean, Creighton was a 3, UConn was a 1.
You hear that?
I don't even know who else is in the Big East that made
It's
it.
the world's tiniest violin, and I am playing it.
And in your fingers, that looks really tiny.
Oh, poor Big East.
Is Drake in the Big East? I think they're in the Big East. But I don't know. Grand Canyon's not. Maybe they did get screwed.
Well,
There are not that many teams.
I'm seeing a tweet from Jeff Borzello said Iowa State was the number 8 overall in the NCAA seed list. 8 overall. So more proof that power conference tournaments don't really factor in the committee's thinking.
U of H should withdraw from the Big 12 tournament from next year today. Just say, nope. U of H should just say, we're not doing that next year. Nope, not going. Head coach, best player, point guard, can't have a bad day. Galen and Jamal beat this into my head. Kelvin then decided to beat it into my head. And if I never remember anything else about this program, that's the one thing I'll remember. I think I only saw 3 here. And I think I was seeing things like 6, 7 teams. And if they didn't get that many and the Mountain West didn't get what they were due and the Big 12 didn't get 9, they got 8. I guess the SEC got more. The Pac-12 got a few more than we might have thought.
Let's see here. Have they updated this?
We know about Marquette, y'all. We know. Okay, I just got a text message from Galen, and I can't say that one either, but he admits he messed up. How about that? I can't say what he said. Hopefully he'll come on and say it himself, but yeah. Yeah, this old clip is going around the social medias and of the first on the floor. And you saw it a lot. Even yesterday, LJ got on the floor after a ball, and it was one of the quickest tie-ups I've ever seen. LJ had the ball, and the Iowa State guy was going towards the ball, and they called jump ball. And I was like, okay. But I think the first guy on the floor should get the jump ball. I just don't even think they should call it that. Marquette is a 2. They are in U of H's bracket. I didn't realize it was just 3. Drake is not in that. They must be in the Atlantic 10. It's hard to keep up with those. Big 12 and SEC got 8.
We have a lot
Big,
of opinions. We're just not very intelligent, okay?
Six Big Ten and Mountain West. Man, that Mountain West is weird. 5 ACC, 4 Pac-12, 3 Big East. I do like that they admit that the Big East not that great, because I've been
See,
saying it all year, and that's
I
why I don't
know.
understand how UConn can be number one if they play in such a crappy league.
Mhm. I mean, I'm glad that we're not the number one overall. This is. I mean, it's part of what I wrote about this morning. It's
An unnecessary target.
not just that. You know, U of H and Kelvin and all the players, they thrive on being the underdog. They thrive on being disrespected. And then a lot of times Kelvin has to manufacture that. He has to come up with reasons that, oh, they looked at you sideways. They're not respecting you.
I disagree. I don't think
I
he
think the
has. I think
players.
it's their makeup. They believe that they're disrespected constantly. I really do. I don't think he has to manufacture much, because if you have to manufacture it, at some point they're going to stop listening, and they haven't, and they haven't for years. So I don't think he has to make it up.
But now
I
it's real. But now it's really real, and now it's really personal.
Okay. You're still a number one. It's still a huge target. And, the Longwood Lancers would love to be that guy. I don't think they're going to be. I don't think that's going to be much of a game. I think you might get to rest some people. Who knows if they do, but we'll see.
Well, the
Uh,
thing is, with a short bench right now, we can try to rest people. But we're gonna have to stop
yeah,
people in.
yeah. Baylor got no love. I really thought they had a chance to be a 2, but if Iowa State was the 8, then
Yeah,
there was
we
no
just had
way.
a chance.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was funny that the ESPN guys were talking about, oh, Houston's going to drop down to the fourth number one seed. I'm like, hold on, didn't you just hear the committee chairman say the top three are locked already? And that was before UNC even played.
Okay.
So
I didn't
now,
hear any of this. I wasn't watching on TV, but
I mean, I don't know where they came up with the notion that all of a sudden, oh, they're going to drop to four, the fourth one.
I'm going to tell you this. U of H and the Big 12 are on TV every Monday night. They're on ESPN. Every Wednesday night, they're on ESPN. There's always a game on Tuesday night. All day Saturday on
Oh
ESPN,
shit, we're
ESPN2.
fucked.
Okay.
Fucking Drake is at this party.
What is that even? Why is that
He's
significant?
a curse.
Well, it could be
Every
worse.
sports team he supports crashes and burns.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna have to come up with some mojo, man. I gotta. Woo! I'm gonna need a live chicken. Anybody? Some incense. And anybody got a blowtorch? You got one of those Elon blowtorches? We're gonna have to come up with something.
I don't think ESPN pundits, the people that comment between games and in pre and post game shows, I don't think they watch the Big 12. There's no way they do. They've built up the Big East and the slow Big Ten nonstop for
But
years.
they've
And
been
UConn
doing.
made their run, but
I mean, I'll say one thing about the Big East. Back in the early mid 1980s, the Big East was phenomenal.
40 years ago,
Yeah, they were phenomenal, and they
the
also had a
Southwest
run.
Conference was
They
too.
also had a run there at around the turn of the century. Where I think they put like 10 or 11 in 1 year or 2 years in a
Yeah,
row, where
that's fine.
they were really really good. But I mean, you know,
There are some comments saying as long as we don't get Ted Cruz, Ted is the ultimate curse right now. Whether you like him or you don't, ultimate curse.
Well, hopefully,
That's the guy.
hopefully,
If he's in Memphis, you might as well just pack it up. I don't think
hopefully,
Drake's going to Memphis.
well, hopefully, Ted can go with A&M, and maybe Drake and Ted cancel each other out.
You know, Ted, UT is playing in Charlotte, and that's much closer to DC. Easier flight. Go there, help them out. And then Tech is in Pittsburgh. You can go to Pittsburgh, hit them both. Helping everybody out. I understand why Clark Kellogg would say this, because U of H just has 7 guys, 6.5 guys. I understand, but I mean, we all see this team twice a week, 3 times a week, whenever it is. These guys just don't know. They don't see it. If you are forced to watch ACC basketball, where they got 5 teams in, and Big East basketball, 3 teams in, and then that Big Ten basketball, I can see why you don't understand the Big 12. And now that I think about it, Jamie Pollard is Iowa State's AD, and he's on the committee, and he tweeted this morning that he just felt sick to his stomach. And it was kind of ominous, but obviously he knew that they were going to be a pretty low 2 seed. But I don't think it's a bad draw for them. And I really don't think this is a bad draw for Houston. Big names, but if your coaching staff and your head coach matters, which we believe that in college basketball it really matters, right? You've got Shaka Smart, and you've got John Calipari, and you've got John Shire. You got Kelvin Sampson. Who are you taking in that? I'm going to take Kelvin Sampson.
Mm-hmm.
John Calipari has won a title. He has it. But, I mean, come on. I feel comfortable that Houston has the elite coach in that region. And we'll see. Drake was on that U of H Peach Bowl team. I really don't remember any of that, but y'all might be right. You might be right. I just don't remember it. Pretty funny. So let's wrap this up. I feel like we've done enough, right? Star Pizza.
Sure.
They're not sponsoring. Brad got the cheesy bread, right?
Garlic
You
cheese
destroyed
bread and
that.
fettuccine
Garlic
Alfredo
bread.
with chicken.
Okay. All right.
Oh, and
That's okay.
they give you a choice for side salad, but they also let you choose roasted baby potatoes instead. So I got that. They're delicious.
So it's side salad or roasted baby potatoes. You couldn't get him to throw in a cupcake.
I didn't ask for it.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
I wasn't feeling
your...
cupcakey today.
Okay. Final thoughts, Brad Pounds. That's not the one. Whoa. Not me.
Jesus Christ.
Let's try again. I'm not good with the technology.
Scared me there for a second.
Yeah.
A new season starts. Everything you did, good, bad, or indifferent, it's wiped away. New one starts. And we've got favorable locations. I think we've got solid matchups. I think we got a good shot. Now the team just needs to heal up, get the Miyagi, put it in the right spots, and let's go play some ball.
So in the last 5 minutes, you have made a major league reference. You have made a Karate Kid reference, and you talked about the Big East being really good in 1983. Brad, you're really fucking old.
Hey,
there has been things happen in the last 40 years.
I don't remember if it was. I don't remember if it was 80. It might have been 86 when the Final Four was in Dallas. But I went up and went to all the practices.
LSU played in that.
Yeah. I went up to all the practices, and back then, growing up in Mesquite, going to downtown was like a vacation. So we treated it like our vacation on spring break to go to the Final Four. And so I was standing outside, and back then you could get tickets day of different games for like $5 just from standing around outside. And I was a big fan of the Big East because that was Big Monday and all into basketball and everything. What the hell is that?
I'm
Oh,
just bored with your 80 stories, so I'm just doing everybody else.
but I was sitting outside, and next thing you know, there's this guy standing next to me. Turns out to be Walter Berry from, I think, was it St. John's? But anyhow, I stood out there. I was a huge fan of his, and he talked to me for like 20 minutes. And I'm just this little kid. So the Big East was really big in my head way back then. I loved watching it. Not so much as it declined rapidly. You didn't even know what basketball was until 3 or 4 years ago.
No, I mean, I saw quite a bit of LSU basketball. I didn't like it, but I saw it. I mean, Stanley Robertson, Shaq, and Chris Jackson, and come on. But yeah, it wasn't my thing, but it sure is now, and it's my everyday.
It's the best thing going.
I I when I see family members, they laugh at me because I just wasn't a basketball guy, and now I spend 20 hours a day on it, and it's this weird thing that's happened to me that is really cool, and I love it, and that's probably going to be like the first line of my obituary is, comma, killed by Kelvin Sampson, comma. I mean, it's going to be right there. He's going to murder me. He's going to just do it. He's going to just stare a hole through me.
And the funny thing is that now that this program has become what it's become, normally around after the season's over with, you take a little bit of time off, get some rest, start getting recharged. And once June starts, it's like, I can't wait for basketball season again. I mean, I always get excited for football, but I'm more interested in basketball now.
Yes. And we'll be covering basketball starting June 1st. We'll tell you more about that. We've told you about it. The first game I ever covered was U of H. This might be a lie. U of H football at Cal, Labor Day weekend, 1998.
That wouldn't suck.
No, it was phenomenal. We stayed right on the bay, the marina in Berkeley. You could go outside and you could see Alcatraz towards the Golden Gate Bridge. I don't think you could see it. We went to an A's game the night before. It was like 8 degrees at the Coliseum. And then the next day, it was like 78 in Berkeley. And I didn't understand how it could change so much. Just because I am real with you people and I'm honest with you, your boy wore a turtleneck to the football game.
You probably had a mullet back then too.
No, I did not. I had it was a little bit of well, it was butt cut actually. It went both ways.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Style. Yeah. So with my turtleneck, so it's, choking me up here. And yeah, Cal scored right at the end of the game. I think it was 14-10, ended up being the final. But I may have covered a U of H soccer game that week prior, which would have been that was the first year of U of H soccer. And I was the beat writer because nobody knew soccer. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. I still don't know anything about soccer. So that would have been my first thing. I forgot to fill out a bracket last year. Just didn't get to it. I am typically 1. I do it with the guys on our forum, the Veer. Go to GoCoogs.com, subscribe, and you can get on the Veer. That's the only reason I do it. I did the football. We did a weekly football. I don't even know what you call them, pick 'em. And for the first time in my life, I won. And I mean, usually
usually,
you know this, I'm usually in the bottom 5 because I'm just.
Well, you usually right around the top up until about the
Choke.
10th or 11th week,
Yeah.
and then you wind up at about 7th.
Well, whatever. So basketball school now. Ryan's got a basketball Jones. That's accurate. Accurate. I think they're going to play those games all in Dallas, though. Okay. I don't know that that's coming anytime soon. Appreciate the show. Great show, guys. My final thoughts are: you've known for 2 months you were going to Memphis. You've known for 2 months you were going to be a 1 seed. You've known for 2 months you were going to Dallas. I had flights to every single location that you could. I mean, well, every first round I have flights to. So I've got to go cancel all of those and rebook for football season. But yeah, Memphis is where we expected to go. And I'm going to go and have some interstate barbecue, the barbecue spaghetti.
Yes.
Go to Memphis, go to interstate barbecue, try the barbecue spaghetti. Now, interstate is in the Memphis airport now. Don't eat that one. Don't do it. Don't even, nope, don't do it. And, or it was the last time I was in Memphis. Go to the old one on the freeway, or not on the freeway, it was a highway. It was a small thing. Interstate barbecue. Don't go to Rendezvous. Don't you do it. Don't waste your money. Go to the Bass Pro Shop at the Pyramid. Go to Interstate Barbecue. Don't go to Rendezvous. Stay downtown or Beale Street, that area. But this is exactly what you thought. I think the bracket works out. I don't see huge problems. I think Nebraska can give you a little bit of trouble in the second game if they beat A&M. But I think that's going to be a war. I don't think that's going to be an easy game for either of them. And, you know, sometimes those 8-9 teams, they blow their wad in that first game. And that would be a big deal for U of H. So, meatballs and live chickens, that's the town's mojo.
And a flamethrower.
It's weird. I don't agree.
No.
But you can go have fun with it. Between me and you, Jack, and nobody else listen, just me and you, Jack, they suck. They're terrible. It's a tourist trap is what it is now. And it's just not for me. Nobody romances the meatballs like towns. So that's the end of the show. GoCoogs.com all week. We are going to kill it with basketball all week. We've got football practice Tuesday. I think. I didn't go to the selection show, and I'm sorry about that. I decided to just sit one thing out.
Well, it was either
I don't think I missed anything either.
It was either that or do this. So.
Oh, I'd have done it there. I would have had no issue doing it there. So. I've never had lamb ribs. Maybe he spelled lame wrong. But I don't think it's any good.
Yeah.
I might go to Gus's. The original Gus's, I believe, is in Memphis. Might go there.
You should definitely do that.
I've done it a couple of times. You know what they have right outside in West Memphis? Bonanza.
Dude, that's going back in time.
If it's still there, I might go, and we might do a show from Bonanza. We just might say, F it, not even doing this basketball thing. We're going to go to Bonanza and have a good time. Star Pizza closes at 10. It's 7 o'clock, Connor. Come on. It does take me a while to eat.
Clock.
Okay. All right. GoCoogs.com all week. We appreciate y'all being here. I can't believe we did an hour and 20 minutes, just me and you. I can't believe anybody stayed to watch it, but there's almost 400 of you.
It was me, you, and all these guys over here on chat.
That's right. This way. Y'all were great. I'm going to tell you, the chat thing has been so much fun. Like, I didn't think I was going to like it. I was like, we're going to get some morons. But we've actually got funny people and good dudes. Even Jack, who just really doesn't like me, uh, which is
Nobody
fine.
does. I mean, most everybody just tolerates you.
You know, my mother told me that on my 3rd birthday. That's a true story. So, like, we just tolerate you.
Yeah, you'll do.
Yeah, well, she might amend that. GoCoogs.com. Thank y'all so much for watching. There's going to be a lot going on this week, and we're going to cover it all. Football, basketball, everything. We'll be in Memphis, I think Thursday. It might be Wednesday. I don't know. I don't even have a hotel book. We're waiting for the NCAA to send us the hotel information because the regular hotel rooms right now are nuts, and I'm not paying that. Let's see. Do we get info? You're screwed. There you go. Yeah. Oh, wait. They might have a time. Do they have a time?
Good question.
Oh, no. Just the. They do say that Elvin Hayes is going to make the trip. That's interesting. Good for him.
Cool.
Good for y'all. Good for everybody. Yeah, we don't have a time yet. This is the first ever time U of H will play Longwood. I think I knew that without knowing that. Yeah, so there you go. We'll get a time. I think sometime tonight. They'll figure it out, or they won't. This pouring rain explains a lot. You don't even know. You get a little bit, a slice of the bad each show, and if you put it together, it's not great. So, all right, 395. Appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you for commenting. That's really cool. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll have an interview or two this week, something long form, which we like to do. And we'll be
Keep an
doing
eye
all
out
this.
for Jamie's scouting report on Longwood. We'll get familiar with that team.
Yes, we will get familiar with that team probably around Wednesday or Thursday, maybe Friday. Who knows? So, and we'll get to go to, I think you get to go to practice at the NCAA. So we get to go and see the most basic shoot around ever. But what can you do? Thanks so much for watching, y'all. This was Cats, our selection show special. And it worked out. We should do it again in a year.